This is FortressCraft, which is kind of probably the most famous Minecraft clone, mainly because he's a very cheeky and loud-spoken creator.
Yeah, he bangs on Twitter about how it's not a Minecraft clone, right? But I'm looking at this.
He's the angriest millionaire in the world.
Yeah, I know.
I just sit on my money and smile and shut up. Personally.
Is he actually a million? Has he made?
Oh yeah, he sold like lots and lots of copies of this. You can see now if you look at the bottom, actually, my avatar shadow, because my avatar is an amazing spaceman.
Okay.
He's fat.
Oh,
So that's nice. I like that.
So he made it through NASA's sort of health checks and stuff to become a spaceman.
He did all that gyroscoping, eating the donut, spinning around really fast, and all that. I don't know. FortressCraft is weird because it's made to be apparently prettier, but to me it's the kind of idea of pretty which is horrible. It's kind of an 8-year-old's idea of what cool is. I mean, this is a great example. It's got all these visual sayings that just make it look like horrible.
Yeah, right. What's that supposed
Spectrum
to be?
mode, sepia. That's great. Make it look like it's the 1920s. I mean, it just basically it's got. This is kind of iconic of what FortressCraft is like, in the fact that it gives you all of these menus and options full of stuff that no one sensible will ever want to even look at.
It's sort of like weirdly experimental, isn't it? It's like he's practicing making games in a really popular, like really publicly known sort of
absolutely,
Minecraft
and the way it basically creates the world as it needs to is a nice idea, but it does this kind of these towers of light that remind me of that TV series in the 90s called Reboot.
Oh yeah,
which is a fond memory, but it's just odd. There's just something oddly unpleasant and ugly about all of it. Even the fact that you've got this constant watermark in the bottom corner to remind you of watching that it's FortressCraft, just in case you thought it was a lesser copy.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's very odd. I mean, you've got all these strange tools like this little digger vehicle which drags off and makes things, and it's just weird. There are some cool ideas, there's some cool things in it.
There's no elegance to it, right? There's no quality control. He's just thrown ideas at it and hoping that loads of them will stick.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some very cool ideas, but it just lacks any of the kind of charm of Minecraft.
It's full of caveats as well. Like, there's no undo, and there was one earlier going, there may be holes in the world. I mean, like, finish the game, finish the feature at the very least before you stick it in the game.
It is a bit strange because there does seem to be a lot of emphasis on adding cool new features rather than making it kind of polished. I mean, this, for example, is.
Oh wow!
When you get stuck inside blocks, that's what happens. But it's kind of a laser gun that makes blocks. I just don't see. It kind of entertained me for a minute being able to do this, but I don't know if it's fun.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a very strange game. I mean, there's all these relics underground, and there's quite a cool system where you can bind different blocks to make bigger blocks out of tiny blocks. If that makes sense.
Right.
You can basically miniaturize them. You can make a little structure of blocks, and then miniaturize that to make that collection of blocks one block. So you can create these very detailed. Miniatures, which you can then use to make very detailed.
Where are we
items. Now? This is kind of like the hub where it's where you spawn to. It's a workshop, and actually, if you go beneath this into the workshop, then that's where you make these kind of compressed little blocks out of lots of other blocks. And again, it's kind of cool ideas, but it's just this weird stuff. Like it comes up with information you don't need to know. It tells you the frame rate. It kind of very much feels like a kind of PC gaming throwback, but it's kind of forgotten that all those things that are in PC gaming were kind of there at the time because
it was fiddly.
There's
no way of doing it better. It looks really daunting. I mean, like, it just looks like there's tons and tons of stuff, not all of it particularly, like, logical or sort of intuitive, and it's just kind of all been chucked in there. But I doubt the guy cares, based on his Twitter thing, whether we like it or not.